It's been a while. Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? So, wow. What we're going to do now is it's finally time to do a boot. I'm sorry guys.
Boot.
I'm out of practice. A boot build on a 350. So we've got big sheets of MDF which we are going to cut out. We're going to mark it all, cut it all out with a jigsaw. So we've got the base plate. Basically we're replacing the floor. That is literally what we're doing. We're replacing the floor.
I don't think well now, they're going to see that and they're going to think, you stupid twats, it's not the right one, don't fit.
Well, there's more. Because of the awkward shape, you are going to have to do it a little bit weird. But, so the gist of this, we're going to mark it all out on the MDF, we're going to cut it all, and then we can test fit it in the car. We've got subs to go in there, we've got 6x9s to go in there, we've also got an amp, we've got a NOS bottle as well that we're going to mount. Just, you know, a build, a boot build. With that being cut out, we've tried to test fit it in the car and realised that the wings basically on the floor mat, so this section here, here, and this section here on this side, they will not fit in the boot on their own. So we can't, obviously we put the cut there because it's awkward to get it round there because you've got the brace in the boot. But we've realised now even with that there, we can't fit it in. So we've got the 6x9s anyway, which you can see here, and we're planning on sitting these about here on an angle. So we're thinking if we can cut this template and get rid of the wings, shall we call them, just about here somewhere, we're going to go in line with these and stick some wood so it sits like on an angle here. If we can get rid of those on both sides, then we won't have a problem fitting it in. It's time to now mark out where the sub's going to go. So in the boot we've got to fit a NOS bottle, some 6x9s, an amp and a sub. The sub we've gone for is, I believe it's 15 inch. So now we're just going to measure up, cut out that centre and put that sub in place. We're going to have to move the flame kit underneath, so that's just being relocated to the back to give us more room for the sub, because the bottom of the sub is magnetic and we don't want that to be sticking to things it shouldn't be. So we've also filled in the holes with a bit of sealant, and then we've made it so the piece of wood sits in place and the sub sits in nicely. We've also added some supports underneath because it does sag, because the sub is quite hefty. Now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the 6x9s, which we're going to make fit at the sides. What we first did is we made a template from some cardboard. We then kept trimming this down till it fit. We also put this on the wood. We cut the wood a little bit larger than we needed just to make sure, and again we trimmed this down to make that fit as well. These were just rough guides to get us somewhere for the 6x9s. Now after we've done that, we then use the template from the back of the 6x9 box to cut out where they are going to go. And even though the boot space at the sides are different to each other, we decided to mirror this template. This made it a lot easier for making sure that the speakers was in the right place. The space behind it is different, so you wouldn't really necessarily see anything different. Once we'd cut them out, the 6x9 speakers fit in there pretty nice and snug. We're going to use this opportunity right now to do the wiring. So obviously we're going to get the amp in there, we're going to get the power to the stereo, power to the amp and all that sort of stuff. Jack's just took it out of the car.
No.
Mate, stop it. Just take that piece of wood off. It's so nice of you to make me a toilet.
Yeah. I'm not drunk.
What? Come on.
I'll scoop it up with you, already.
Can you go to the shop and get me some toilet paper?
No.
Please. Whatever you do, don't turn round. We've got a customer coming in 10 minutes. Do you reckon I can do it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
What?
Don't do what you're going to do.
See you in 5. With all the wiring now in place, it's now time to start laying the carpet on the wood. Now to do this, you need to make sure it's clean. Once it's all clean, you can then go ahead and use the adhesive spray, lay the carpet down and stretch it all out. Now this is actually really well, it works good and it looks good at the same time. At the same time as well, we needed to make sure that this boot was removable because we have the flame kits underneath that we need to get to just in case there's an issue. So we put these little brackets in place to stop the 6x9 sliding at the sides and having a potential issue in the future. But again, it's still means we can remove it. Once all this has been done, we can then fix the sub and everything in place, and then we can then start moving onto the NOS bottle. With the NOS bottle mounting, we basically needed to make a bracket that the NOS bottle could sit in. So to do this, we put the NOS bottle on, some 2x2, we drew around it and cut that out with the jigsaw to give us the shape. We then repeated this for a second copy of it, for one for the top, one for the bottom. This seemed to work out great. Once we got that shape, we then decided to build a frame, again out of 2x2. We wanted this to be very basic, we didn't want it to be too complicated. So we then cut some pieces to size, screwed them all together and made sure that was all nice and secure with some screws. After we'd done that, we then test fitted it into the car with the NOS bottle itself. Now the NOS bottle needed raising up so you could see it through the window really well. So to do this, we put it in the car, we measured it a little bit, and then we managed to make some little tiny feet. And then we put these feet on the bottom of the frame, which then allowed the frame top section to sit on top of the shelf where the speakers are, and the feet to sit on the floor. We then took the second board out to the back and fixed these feet to that board so it's got some stability. And then finally, to stabilize the NOS bottle, we decided to use some Jubilee clips that fit all the way around, that held it all nice and secure in place. We're going to show you this quickly working. Now, we've got to be careful what we play because obviously copyright issues. You probably won't be able to tell the bass or anything as much from the video either, but just know it sounds epic. Doesn't it, Jack? And the boot build actually looks really good. So we're going to show you this working now, and yeah, just make sure you let us know what you think down in the comments as well.
We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on
It looks funny.
What?
I said it looks funny. And that is the boot build done. I mean, it looks really good. You can see through the back window, you can see the NOS bottle. That's kind of what we wanted to achieve. The rest of it, yes, is kind of hidden, but you can see it from a different angle. But we know it's there, that's all that matters. So if you remember the gap we had between the two pieces of board as well, this is it here. So if we look just there, you can hardly actually see it. It's right there. So that's why we left a little bit of a gap, like we meant to do it, I swear. Just to allow for that little bit for where the carpet's going to sit. There's loads more we need to do on this build, so this isn't the end. We're going to just throw videos out there every so often. As you probably saw on the community page, we are going to sort the engine out, turbo it and all that, and forge it at some point, so you'll see that in the future as well. But we're also looking at doing another project now, because the things on this are going to be slow and a little bit often. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button, and we'll see you guys in the next one.